Like, it's such a bad part of the year for everybody.
Yeah.
I
Layoff season.
I want to go on the record saying again, I know this is like layoff season for companies and they do it because they're trying to figure out their profit margins. I really wish companies would rethink this layoff season thing. The more I see it every year, it's like the same thing. You do it after a holiday. I can't stress enough how shitty it is to be an employee, come back from your holiday and get the pink slip. I don't think I can express enough how terrible that of a feeling that would be. It's not even better if it's before the holiday season. I don't know what it is. Like, your company, it's not better to just tell them, hey, do you have a good vacation? Cool, you're fired. Like,
Yeah. I honestly think I'd prefer it before the holiday season, because at least then, like, you get your time off and you know, like, you're not having to come back afterwards. Obviously, you're gonna have to job search, but like,
exactly.
that just seems like, yeah, I just came back from vacation. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but like, I'm all rejuvenated. I'm ready
Right.
to get back to work. We had Christmas, we had New Year's. I'm happy. I'm feeling good for the most part. You
And then you
come
get
back,
fired.
you're fired. Like, first day you come back, you're fired. Get out. Like,
It's like
it's crap.
I was told this before, and it was just like, yeah, companies like to lay off after the holiday because they think it's better. It's not. To me, it feels
not.
worse. It feels worse.
Yeah, I think it's worse. I think it's worse personally, but
I don't know. Companies are weird. This is how they think. They think they're like so weird, so out of touch with everything. Well, this is Riot. So Riot, we're limiting 530 roles globally. 11% of the company, big percentage, big chunk. I want to focus. I know the layoffs are a big part of this, but for Riot in particular, it was interesting reading this whole article. So the games that they're doubling down on. Here's the games list that they're doubling down on: League of Legends, Valorant, Teamfight Tactics, Wild Rift. So basically, while it is multiple games, it's really just like 2 IPs in there. League of Legends, or that whole universe, is 3 of those names. Like, Wild Rift is just League of Legends on mobile. Teamfight Tactics is a game mode within League of Legends.
Yep.
Valorant is the only other IP. What you notice, though, is Legends of Runeterra is going to... I think Legends of Runeterra is going to go into maintenance at some point soon. They've already said they're facing financial challenges since launch. They say it in the article. It costs a lot. They're downsizing the team. There is a PvE mode, apparently. This shift allows the team to experiment more in the PvE space, concentrating on the game mode where players have been spending the most time. And that's Path of Champions. I personally don't know what that is. But it's a PvE mode. I'm guessing it's a PvE mode in the way that like Hearthstone heavily monetizes Battlegrounds now, which is it's an auto battler. Maybe it's an auto battler. I'm not sure, but in any case, it's interesting how they're like, okay, we're going to shift the game into this other game mode a little bit more. The other one before kind of pausing is we're ending new game development under Riot Forge. Forge was an experiment to see what would happen when Rioters partnered with their favorite indie devs and let them loose on Runeterra with their unique viewpoint, styles, and expertise. Across 6 titles spanning different games, genres, regions, and characters, it's been inspiring to see what the devs created in partnership with the Forge team. So this was like their other games. This was like those other games, like that rhythm game. Remember the rhythm game that we had talked about before? I think that's within... Is that within this bucket of like they worked with an indie team on a game and this is one of those?
I remember the RP, like they did like that, the RPG. I can't remember what it was called right now.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rhythm. I guess that's vaguely ringing a bell, but I don't really remember.
There was a rhythm game.
I'm assuming they're not canceling development on the fighting game because that's been going for a bit.
Project L is the fighting game, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, Project L.
They did say making progress. Okay. Yeah. And they talked about Arcane. They're like, yeah, Arcane 2's coming. We know you liked it. It was interesting to read this whole thing just to get a sense of where their priorities are. I'm not surprised about Runeterra. I'm also not surprised about their other games. My assumption is those other games that they worked with indie devs just didn't sell very well at all. I'm just assuming they didn't sell well at all. Otherwise, they wouldn't just immediately... They're just like, okay, we're done. They must just not have sold particularly well. I'm 100% certain besides League of Legends, Valorant is kind of their big money maker.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the money's being made.
I mean,
And
we haven't talked about it in a while, but when Valorant can't, like, the skins are so overpriced in Valorant. They're
it's
ridiculous.
it's
Like,
really like it's a moneymaker. It is a big moneymaker to get those skins. You know, there's a battle pass, I'm sure, in there, of course, much like every game now. I don't know. It was interesting reading the whole thing. I don't read the entire article on this, but this one was particularly enlightening because I kind of knew about Runeterra. I think Runeterra is probably going to be like, we're going to go into maintenance. We'll keep the
yeah,
servers up, but whatever.
they're going to maintenance mode. I mean, the people I've heard, I haven't played Runeterra myself, but the people I've heard who have played it actually like it. They think it's a good game, but
Yeah.
it just didn't catch on. Like,
No.
it's a card game. It's kind of a tough space at this point. I mean, there's Magic, there's Hearthstone,
Marvel Snap.
Marvel Snap. I think Shadowverse still exists. I don't know how popular that is anymore.
I think Shadowverse is fairly, I don't want to say niche, but maybe I do want to say niche. I think it's pretty niche at this point.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the card game space it's kind of like, the MOBAs. It's kind of saturated.
It's kind of done now.
It's hard to get a new game into it, and
Right.
Runeterra was pretty late. So yeah.
Yeah, Runeterra was late. Marvel Snap is the only recent one I know of that had like significant
Yeah,
success.
that got some legs, but that's because that one was like mobile focused and it's very like quick and easy to like get into. The games are really short.
Yeah.
And it's really unique compared to the other
Yes, it is.
Other card games, to be honest. Like,
Yes, it
it's
is.
really different.
I agree. Marvel Snap is unique. It's got good things going for it. It's Marvel, so you're gonna get casual players kind of interested. It's got good bones to it for whatever problems it might have with, like, it's probably way too expensive. Oh yeah, so Shadowverse does get new content. That's right, it still gets new content. Anyway, yeah, I'm not surprised though with Riot being like, okay, let's focus on our big money makers. Here's the 4 that make the most money. Let's just focus there. Project L's coming. Arcane Season 2's coming. All the other stuff, we experimented. They talked about wanting to get into more areas, more genres with their studio. They tried in some other areas. It didn't work. Runeterra does have like some good bones. Just isn't making as much money as we would have hoped. All of our other indie dev partnership projects, they were fun, but they're not making a ton of money as much as we would have liked. I don't know.
Yeah.
And 11% is a lot. It's 11% of the workforce is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as much as some of the other companies we talked about before that were like 30% or like 35% or something like that. But yeah, it's a chunk for sure.
Yeah. Continuing on with layoffs, just to keep going. We can circle back to Riot 2 if you had more to say.
No, I'm good.
Microsoft lays off a lot of Activision Blizzard and Xbox employees. By the way, this was not that recent. This was over a week ago.
It was like almost 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, over a week ago for this particular post. Here's some other really big ones. Mike Ybarra has left
Blizzard. Yeah, the president, previous president of Blizzard.
Chief Design Officer Alan Adham leaves the company. This was a big one. I think this was one of the people that was there since the beginning. So this is like the kind of original core team. Another one leaving. Here's the last big one. Remember that survival game? Done. Yeah, and I know why it's done. Besides the fact that they had to remake their own engine. Here's what Xbox said. Here's what Phil said when he walked into the office. He said, "Boy, we really got screwed over by that whole, Redfall thing. Grandfathered in project really screwed us over. How's the survival game coming?" And they're like, "Well, we've been working on it for 6 years. We designed a new engine. We did this." They probably showed an marginal gameplay progress to Phil. And Phil said, "I learned my lesson. We're done.
No, thanks.
No.
Canceled.
No more grandfathered projects. We're not doing it. You've been working on this for way too long and the progress isn't good enough. Redfall was a mistake. I'm not making it again.
We're like we didn't We didn't go hands-on enough with Redfall. We just trusted the team and let them do their thing, and that was a big mistake. So no, thank you.
Phil said, I don't like this. It's giving me Redfall vibes of like the same situation. The game probably maybe looked better, maybe looked worse. I don't know. But Phil said, nope. Get back to the existing IPs. Let's focus on the existing the hitters. I don't want a new game from you guys. It's been in development way too long. I don't like it. Gives me Redfall vibes of grandfathered in project. That was a big deal. They announced it a year or two ago. We were kind of thinking, oh, this will be interesting. Like Blizzard's trying a new IP, survival game. Survival games are big. We'll get to it, but the survival games can be huge. It's an interesting market for games. There's a couple winners there. We'll talk about some current winners in a second. And survival's an interesting genre that I think has a lot of potential. I think a lot of game developers see some potential in survival. But the whole point of this is Activision Blizzard and Xbox got kind of cleaned out quite significantly. Huge number of people are out. Many Blizzard folks are out. Big Blizzard folks are out. Survival game canceled. I'm disappointed about the survival game. Obviously, the layoffs, like, goes without saying. Never want to see it, but I'm really disappointed that Microsoft didn't just allow the survival game to finish. That was a big one for me. And this Blizzard that's left as a last thought before I turn over to you. This is no longer Blizzard officially. This is some other company now. This is not Blizzard anymore. All the old folks are gone. This is no longer Blizzard.
It hasn't been Blizzard in a long time, in my opinion. Like, there was, yes, there was still some, like, a few residuals, and they brought the frickin' Warcraft guy back. Chris Metzen, is that his name? The one who was, like, on the BlizzCon stage this year.
Yeah.
They brought that guy back. We'll see. This is, unfortunately, when you get these big acquisitions, there's probably some redundant jobs in here. Yep. So they're just like, especially in some of like the management positions, like if you're gonna have like Microsoft overseeing things, you don't need those like management positions for Activision Blizzard. Survival game. Yeah, I assume if it was close, they probably would have just let it finish, but
it's not. It was not.
To me, it still wasn't close. It was at least like 2, 3, 4 years away, at least probably. And Phil's just like, yeah, no, we're.
He's like, we're not spending on that.
I don't know if it's Phil, but like whoever makes the decisions is like, yeah, no, we're not doing this. This is. As you said, I'm sure they went in, took a look at it, and were probably not impressed or didn't like whatever the team size or how much money it was going to cost to get it out or whatever, or how long it had been in development already. They had made their own engine apparently for the game, which is part of what took so long, taking so long with it. So
I like it. It's like Phil looking at it because Phil's the one we know of so well. So
Phil's the face for sure.
But Phil's not the one that made that decision. I think it was somebody else with a nice button-down shirt and tie who's crunching the numbers and said, "Oh boy, oh boy, this is a lot to spend. Can we trim this fat a little bit?" It's too bad too, because to me with Blizzard, even if they keep with their same IPs, there's no more passion behind the IP. I mean, like all the people that had passion behind them, they're gone. So that was kind of why I was interested in the survival game. It seemed like with a new IP, all the people that are working on it are passionate about it. So you're thinking, okay, well, there's probably like a certain group, like passion with this IP, like with Overwatch, even though probably a lot of the old crew didn't work on Overwatch with Blizzard, except for, I'm forgetting the name of the guy,
Jeff Kaplan.
Jeff Kaplan, except for Jeff. But like, those are great projects that you see from companies like Blizzard because you're like, oh, it's a new IP. They're probably super passionate about it. Valorant too. Like Riot was super passionate about Valorant. You can tell. Valorant obviously looks like there's a ton of like care and joy put into it. And the same thing with the survival game. I was like, oh, like Overwatch 2, no passion. No passion went behind that game. Not a single drop of passion, I imagine, went behind that game, like, as a whole.
Overwatch 2 100% was like a corporate decision to make Overwatch 2. They're like, hey, we need to like we're not making enough money off of Overwatch 1 because all the characters are free and like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We need to make more money on Overwatch 2, so let's sell a new game and then we'll monetize the crap out of it with battle passes.
Right.
And, get rid of loot boxes because people like that you got rid of loot boxes, but make the progression system absolutely awful. So,
but my point is, like, when you get new IPs from these more established studios, you're like, okay, this could be interesting. Like, there could be a lot of, interest and passion behind it. That's why the survival game is very disappointing for me. I like was imagining in the back of my head, like, okay, this is going to be a good one because everybody working on it is really excited about it. Overwatch 2, Bobby Kotick at the time probably was like, I need more money. I tried to get a third yacht. Can we get like an Overwatch 2? Oh yeah, and just don't do the campaign for it, by the way. Like, my yacht, I need that yacht. And like, to a certain extent, some other games are different. Like Diablo 4, the team definitely had passion behind it. So there's like some cases where it's like established IP can still have passion. StarCraft 2, tons of care went into that. You can tell. But Overwatch 2...
At least at first, yeah.
I think at first StarCraft 2 did have a ton of, like, the team wanted StarCraft 2 to be a certain way. And you could tell. I mean, like, the game, game's great. So, anyway... This whatever was left of Blizzard, whatever percentage of passion was still there from the old guard, you can just say it's at this point it's 100% gone.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what Microsoft decides to do with their existing IPs and D4 and whatever else. So we'll just have to wait down the line about what's going on.
Man, my dog is going wild. By the way, I don't know what is going on. It is like a persistent bark. Let's keep going. Maybe I can check on the dog real quick after this. Overwatch League is officially ending after 6 seasons. I don't. This shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody. We talked about this some time ago.
Yeah, this was happening.
But the important thing that I wanted to really focus on is they're switching to a circuit league, which frankly is kind of what they should have done. But they didn't. They tried something really different and frankly a little bit too ambitious, considering the industry. So they're going to Face It. Face It's a well-known, well-established platform to do tournaments, circuit leagues, so on. Not surprised. This is where they should have gone before, but they didn't. This is where a lot of other, particularly, I don't even know a way to put it, like FPS games. I'm just going to say FPS games more globally kind of go. Like Valorant does this. That's not like, but, FPS game Valorant. Overwatch League now is going here. Call of Duty, I think, doesn't use the circuit league, but used to do like a different format of like tournaments and such. So I think this is the right format. That being said, I don't really care for Overwatch League. I don't care for anything professionally Overwatch anyway. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this multiple times over the past bunch of months as we saw the sort of warning signs, but yeah, they've officially killed it now after buying out all the franchises or whatever that we talked about a while ago. So yeah, I don't think there's much to say on this. Overwatch League is dead, but we knew this was coming. So
yep, we knew. Okay, dog seems to have calmed down. Oh, thank goodness. All right, let's get some reviews in. This is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth had a January 26th release date. It has a 90 on here, which is outstanding.
Yep.
We're already getting amazing games coming out here. You can even see it. Like, look at this. Like a Dragon, 90. Tekken 8, 90. We'll get to some of these. We'll get to Suicide Squad. Look at that. 63 there. That's a juicy 63. I don't play the Like a Dragon series, but I know it's really popular. 90's great. It seems like the last couple in particular have garnered a lot of praise. So this is great. I mean, this is all great. The space of JRPGs, I think in general at the beginning of this year is looking fantastic. I I'm very happy and excited when like a bunch of great games come out in a row. I think it's just great for everybody. So,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't play this series either. I've thought about trying it or getting into it, but I haven't yet.
Mhm.
But yeah, as you said, these games have gotten quite popular over the past few years, I would say, especially the new ones,
Mm.
the Like a Dragon, the first Like a Dragon, and now this is the second one.
Right.
Um, so
So,
yeah, they're
uh,
kind of they're JRPGs, but they don't always take themselves seriously. They're like
yeah,
kind of goofy. There's a lot of mini games and like weird stuff in the game. So yeah,
yeah.
cool. I mean, I know people like these games quite a lot. So yeah.
So one thing that I want to call out, and I'm looking at one review in particular, but you know, I haven't really gotten a chance to look at some of these reviews in detail. One th- one thing about this game that I found out and I posted, and I'm frankly really concerned. This is the most concerned I've been about a Ultimate Edition in a long time. We've already shown concern in the past about, oh great, early access. Okay, fine. Early access is now a thing. In order to get New Game Plus, you have to buy a deluxe edition. Which
Yeah.
I'm super concerned about this.
Yeah, that's not okay.
It's to a point where none of the reviewers are going to call on it because they don't really get to New Game Plus by the time they're doing the review and they don't do it. I'm worried because what ends up happening is the first person to do it, everybody else is just going to do it. All the big people are just going to do it now. And I know we're like, there's probably a side where everybody's like, no, this is going to be a one-off. No, it's not. Now people are going to start doing it. They're going to be like, oh, do you want a New Game Plus? You should get the deluxe edition. Pay an extra $10. And this is what they do, though. This is what publishers do. Publishers do this. They're like, oh, can we get away with 3 extra days access? Yes. How much can we charge for it now? $10. Okay, fine. Can we paywall New Game Plus? Which I don't know why how is that a paywall now?
Yeah, this is over the line for me. Early access is towing it, I would say, but locking actual like game features
Right.
or content behind deluxe editions is like not okay. If you want to sell, they've been doing this forever. You sell like, bonus weapons and like money and like this kind of crap. They've been doing that a while. Whatever, that's fine. I don't buy
Right.
into that. That's crap. Cosmetics, go right ahead. I don't give a shit. But locking actual game content and game features behind paywalls, deluxe edition, microtransaction, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, this is over the line in my
Yeah.
opinion. This is not okay. Like,
This is the type of thing that makes me feel like, look, I haven't played the series and I'm not a fan of it. This would if I was a fan of it, make me not want to buy it. I'd be like, no.
yeah.
Only because I'm like, I don't really want you to think that I support this. This is gonna sell well. This game is gonna sell really well. I'd be curious to know the deluxe edition sales, knowing that New Game Plus is
I mean,
behind
yeah,
it. But
just if you want to go against this, either don't buy the game, which I know a lot of people already did buy the game, or just buy the standard edition.
just by
Don't buy the
standard.
deluxe. Just
Yeah.
be like, don't buy into their deluxe and ultimate edition crap.
Right.
Just buy the standard edition. Be like, yeah, no, I'm not paying for that. You give me my new game plus for free on the fucking new game on the
Right.
regular edition. Like,
It is over the line for me, 100%. And I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to see this. I really hope that the thing is, everybody waits for the first person to do it. They're all like, okay, the first person that does it is going to take the
brunt.
Take the brunt of my monitor just like randomly turned off. Take the brunt of the media attention, negativity, negative feedback. Every other person is going to go, okay, they already took negative feedback, so we're greenlit. Because now they've set the precedent. They're starting to set a precedent. They're laying the groundwork. You got to get the foundation. This is laying the foundation. Now we'll see if somebody builds on top of it. I guarantee people are going to do this now. They're like, oh, do you want New Game Plus? Give me $5 to $10 extra for that. And that's what worries me about this stuff. It really is worrisome. So, Like a Dragon, great game, great reviews. This kind of thing, though, I can't subscribe to that.
That's not okay.
So, I really had to tie that in there because I found that out and I was like, okay. Ridiculous. Anything else on Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth?